How's it going there, YouTube? Well, I haven't done very good in getting you guys much 40 coverage here. It had gone out of a little bit. I've been trying to do some recording and whatnot. It turned out very good, so it's actually probably the third or fourth time I tried to record this video. Anyway, I think in the last video you guys saw I put the diesel fuel and ATF automatic transmission fluid mix down in the cylinders. I let that sit for about 2 weeks. I popped the rocket cover off, and I discovered that number 3 intake valve was seized shut. So I just put a little bit of diesel fuel and some penetrating fluid on top of that, let it soak. I ended up just tapping it with a little punch and a hammer, and it came right free. Everything else was great. Before I tried to roll it over, I took a rubber mallet and just tapped on the valve springs to make sure everything was loose, and that everything except number 3 intake. Number 2 intake I thought was seized, but it was just down. So I was able to roll it over. I took a pry bar on the ring gear. Of course, I pulled the spark plugs out. Put them back in now just because it rained the other night, and didn't want to get water down the cylinders. So where we're at now, I tried it with the starter, and with the plugs out, it will try to roll the starter. Of course, I'm only just using the lawn tractor battery here, and of course, well, it's not the greatest battery, but I don't have a big 12-volt battery anymore. I apologize for the wind noise up here. There's a little bit of a breeze today, which is kind of nice. I really don't mind that. Anyway, so after I pulled the plugs out of the 40 and loosened the number 3 intake valve there, I was able to roll the 40 over with a pry bar and a ring gear, but it only go about half to 3/4 of a turn. So I started thinking, what else could be holding it? I ended up pulling the hydraulic pump off, and the hydraulic pump I couldn't spin it with my finger. Didn't figure I'd be able to. But once I pulled the hydraulic pump off, I can roll it right over, no problem. So the 40 rolls over. Now I haven't tried it with the plugs in it on the starter, of course, because of the weak battery. I was almost going to bring my truck back here and trying to boost off my truck, but I have to come up with some kind of better battery, or I'm going to have to wire up 2 lawn tractor batteries in parallel. I forget if it's in series or parallel. I forget what it is now, but it gives you 12 volts, more cranking amps. I forget which way it is now, but either way, I'm going to figure something out. So yeah, that's where we're at with the big 40. I'm looking around for a water pump and a carburetor for it. I do know of a guy over in Uxbridge, I think his name's Ed Beach, has parts for a 40, or I was told he had parts for a 40. How much he has right now, or a complete tractor, parts of the tractor. I'm not sure yet because I have not phoned him. But anyway, that's something for another video. I was going to try to see if I can get this to roll over on camera, but I might not be able to do it because now it's under compression. There's a little bit of a rust ring in the cylinder still, so I can get it to a spot. I think it's number 4 cylinder. So basically what happens is the exhaust was covered with a pop can, but as you guys can see here, over time that pipe rots, and of course water runs down the exhaust manifold, runs into the cylinder, and makes a little rust lip in there, and seizes it up. So I think there's still a little bit of a rust ring in there. It gets to a little bit of a tight spot, but you can roll it over, and when you pass that tight spot, you can take the pry bar and just shove right on it like nothing, so it'll roll right over with the plug out, of course. Now there's no compression. But I think if we get it to start, if and when we get it to start, we definitely need a rear main seal. We're going to need a clutch plate for sure, because this clutch plate is saturated, as you can see by the pool of oil down there. That rear main seal, I believe, is pretty much gone. Now, obviously, there's a few things I was missing. I'm trying to see if I can post a fellow out named Marsburg up by the family farm there. But you guys know around that farm, I'll show you the parts too. So there's stuff out there, so I just have to go take a look. Anyway, my camera patch is going to die here relatively soon, so I'm going to give you guys an update on the 40 here and just kind of where we're at. And I haven't really done a whole lot with it. For about 3 weeks I let it sit with the diesel fuel mixed down on the cylinders, and then that way it had time to kind of work its way in there. But there's kind of like a dry spot. I think it's just going with the rust lip, so I've been pumping 30-weight motor oil down there with a square can to try to get it so it doesn't have any dry spots. Now when I do hit it with the starter, we don't make any more damage or break a ring or something. I'm pretty much certain at this point I'm going to end up overhauling this one. So we'll see if we can get it to start, and I know when it does go that it's gonna be a little bit smoky when we first start, of course, because of the diesel fuel and the ATF, and then motor will have dumped down his throat trying to get it unseized. Oh, I friggin' left my dust cover off the starter. Maybe I'll see if I got any juice left in my battery. See if I can't get to do a little roll here. The starter does work. Don't do this at home. Do you guys see that? So I don't have a very good battery, but see, it will roll. If I take the plugs out, it'll roll over really easily. So anyway, just a quick update for you guys, and I'll see you guys on the weekend. I'll try to get some more videos of the 40 here this weekend. Probably gonna have to mow again here really soon. That John Deere S100 is just slick as could be. I love that mower. Anyway guys, I've rambled on long enough. I'll see you guys here in a little bit.